Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for having me, you lovely people. My name is Chloe. And I can tell that I don't work with any of you people, which is great. You guys look really young. Are you students? Are you in the workplace? Okay. So, this is more to the workplace. You've got it coming. But it can happen at uni and all that sort of stuff. It's applicable as well. Dear Mr. Colleague, I'm so glad we spoke after that meeting, the one where you went for wholly undermining both me and everything that we'd agreed to do, and basically made out all my hard work was done by you. But that wasn't the worst of it. Oh no, siree. The worst was what you then saw fit to say to me when I went to confront you after the fact. Because of course I have far too much tact to bring it up in front of everyone. So I waited till after you were done, and there only remained just us two. Thought it'd be the more professional thing to do, but you cut me right off with, "Oh, I think I've upset you," with that condescending look right on cue. You then asserted it was unfortunate timing. It was a few days after my grandmother's passing, and that therefore I was overreacting. So that was the tactic you were trying to pursue, preemptively discrediting my point of view, but still, I calmly defended my position, said what I had to say, and you came back with, "I'm sorry you feel that way." So here's the thing with what you said to me, and I think there's a few here who might well agree. You made the whole issue about my emotions, ignoring the fact that they stemmed from your actions. But making my feelings the problem in this situation was a demeaning, patronising attempt at domination. You put yourself on a pedestal of facts, truth and logic and tried to reduce me to irrational hysteric, further explained by the fact I was grieving. Why on earth else could I possibly be disagreeing? I wouldn't be surprised if you were secretly wondering whether maybe, just maybe, I was going to start crying. Tell me something else. Go on. I'm curious. Did you think it was my period that was making me furious? You refused to consider you might be at fault, so resorted to a pathetic, sexist default. You seem to consider yourself as a big, mighty brain, and me mere ovaries over which you can reign. How dare I challenge your God-given superiority? Tell me, are you one of those guys who likes to grab 'em by the pussy? And there was no evidence of any contrition. Could your pride really not handle such an admission? More likely you knew exactly what you were doing. You just assumed that I'd roll over saying, "Oh, Mr. Colleague, you are so big and strong. You couldn't possibly do anything wrong." But when you realised from the look on my face that that wasn't remotely going to be the case, you deprived me of the right to have an opinion, which, had you even bothered to listen, you'd have found to be based on a good education, years of experience and very sound judgment, but heaven forbid I might have come out triumphant. Now, I'm not saying I'm always right, although in this case I clearly am. I'm just saying that if you really were such a big, brave man, you wouldn't use base tactics to try to shoot me down whilst wearing your imaginary penis-shaped crown. So newsflash for you, if you'll take the time to hear it. Carry on, Mr. Colleague. I can take all of your shit. Think you can dominate me? Really not a chance, because since the day I was born I've been dancing this dance, so I have piles of practice and plenty more energy, and each day I'm going to show you're not better than me. In fact, any opportunity I get, I'll do this too. I'll show your sexist ass that I'm smarter than you. Yours sincerely, your female colleague. Thank you very much. May you never encounter one of those, although realistically you will.
Realistically you have.
You probably have. Somewhere, somehow. Anyway, I think it's time for me to let you get to know me better. This is my bum. It's not perfect, but it's the only one that I've got, and to be honest, I really rather like it a lot. It's useful for sitting, it's useful for short swearing. These are my thighs. They might not be the Hello magazine approved size, and they may only have a gap when I stand like that. But they are steady and ready to carry me to wherever I want to be. This, with the help of my knees, my calves, my feet. Those two are pretty damn neat. They're scarred, sometimes bruised, often stubbly rather than smooth. However, together, these legs have taken me on countless adventures. This here, in front, is my... call it whatever you want. It has a number of functions beyond just sexual enjoyment. I'm even told it can squeeze out a melon, although I'm not too sure why that would happen, and I definitely won't go experimenting. This is my belly. It isn't quite jelly, but it is a bit wobbly, and I certainly don't have chocolate bar abs. I mean, are you mad? Chocolate is yummy, so it belongs in, not on, my tummy, but that way it's extra comfy for the weary traveller wishing to rest their head, or for a cat or a dog to use as a bed. These are my boobs. They arrive in any place, just a fraction of a second before my face. Like army scouts on the lookout and ready to cushion the blow from any foe, such as an invisible glass door, if I ever fall flat on the floor. My arms, they have their own kind of charm. There's a bicep in there, somewhere, a bit of bingo under there, but they can lift and hold and hug you so you don't get cold. My back is curved and my shoulders unevenly strong. My chin is double, my hair tends to be frizzy as well as long. My hips are wide, I have baggy eyes, I have wrinkles and pimples and dimples, and all of that is quite all right. I will never be the shape that the media paints as the right one to be, and that is fine with me. You see, there is so much more to me than just my physical appearance, and my body is not there for other people's judgment, objectification, sexualization. My body exists purely to house me. I can run-ish. I can dance. Also very-ish. But I can pick up a cup and bring it to my lips, and I know that that's something so very simple to do, but it's something that one day I may need help to do. So I refuse to take it for granted. How could I possibly be disenchanted with it? Hey society, stop trying to make me hate it. My body is the most precious thing I own. So I'm going to love every piece and every bone. Thank you. Woo! So I've introduced myself by showing you my butt because coronavirus can't shake hands anymore, so I think you should all show me your butt as well. Butt. Nice to meet you. Thank you. It's the way of the future, if dogs can do it, so can we. Okay, what are we doing now? So this, I'm not sure if I've ever performed this one before. I wrote it for a friend. And I want this to go out to all queer, gay, bisexual, asexual, pansexual, all the sexuals, women out there. It's called Elissa, because that is her name. She is Wonder Woman. Hand on hip, raised fist, head held high. Strong body, standing tall, an inked bird on her shoulder. There is no lasso here. There are no blue eyes. Latina and fierce, this Wonder Woman is queer. She is pride, she is thighs and studs and curls and love and fight. She fights every day against the arch nemesis that come for her. Stigma, misunderstanding, discrimination, ignorance, judgment, negativity, fear. Her body and her mind, powerful pillars, prop up social justice and equality. Her legs are rooted, her soles are planted firmly into the knowledge of her own truth and rights. And on those days when they do get to her, and her back arches, her knees bend and her soul folds, that bird on her shoulder flies upwards to lift her, stretches out her spine and reminds her of the song of freedom she taught it. Then her chest fills, her chin tilts back up, and her fists close once more. One on her hip, one on the air. No one can deny Wonder Woman is there. Thank you. This is going to require a bit of audience participation from everybody. At the end, I'm going to ask everybody to lift up one finger or two. Should be quite obvious why. Hopefully. This is pretty new. This is called Idiot Check. Idiot Check 1. Keys, phone, wallet. Idiot Check 2. Keys, phone, wallet, lip gloss. Do I know where I'm going? How I am getting there? Who am I meeting? Will there be other people there? Eyeliner. Have I texted a friend the name of the person I'm meeting, the location and how we met? Concealer. Will I have to leave my drink unattended? Who do I call if it's going wrong? What's my escape plan if it's going wrong? comb? Do I have enough money on me? Do I have too much money on me? Do I have enough battery in my phone? How am I getting home? Mirror. If I have to walk, what's the best route? Not necessarily the quickest route, the best route. Will the path be lit? Is it likely to be crowded? Any dark alleys along the way? Underground car parks, woods, fields, subways? Tissues. What would I say if someone approaches me? Will the way I walk draw attention to me? Will my noisy shoes draw attention to me? Can I run in them? What can I use as a weapon? Is my outfit too provocative? Is my sexuality too obvious? Is my hairdo too easy to grab? How easy might it be to rip off my clothes? Tampons. If I am not walking home, am I absolutely sure of the best way home? If I am taking a taxi or car service, where do I go to hail it? And how do I know they're legit? If I'm taking the bus or train, will it be crowded, or do I risk being alone in it? Gum. Who do I text to say I'm back safe, and who do I call if I panic? Keys. Phone. Wallet. Idiot check 1 or idiot check 2? Let's just check. Which one are you? Thank you. That's awesome. That made me feel all well. Thank you. Okie doke. Where were we? Here we go. So, at the end of the day, we've actually got it pretty good over here still, fortunately. We're going backwards, it would seem, but still, in the grand scheme of things, we're okay. But there's other countries where things are pretty dire. Female genital mutilation, child marriage, no access to education, physical violence, sexual aggression, all these things. So we need to keep on fighting for them until the day that we no longer need an International Women's Day, because it's just redundant. So this is for them, it's written about them, with them in mind, and it's called Door. You are a door. Made to be pushed and pulled, made to be cut and made to fit. You are a door. You exist to be entered. You must open to man, and if you refuse to, he has the right to break in, smash through. You are a door. You exist to be exited by new life, whether you want to or not. Do not try to fight the breaking and entering, the coming and going. There is no point. You are only a door. You will be left unhinged, swinging and creaking in the waste wind. Thank you. Okie doke. Right. This is now a courtroom. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you must find my client, the defendant, not guilty on the counts of grievous bodily harm and aggravated robbery. We are about to prove that it was not the fault of the accused that she robbed the jewellery shop and that the owner got shot. Of course, I do sympathise that the owner was terrified when she aimed the gun between his eyes. Prosecution went into great detail about how he no longer feels safe working in retail and he can't sleep at night and wakes up in a fright at the slightest noise. But, ladies and gentlemen, he had a choice. Ask yourselves this. Why was he open so late? Doesn't that feel a bit like bait? Why would he put himself in that position? Opposing counsel say he's trying to earn a living, but if you ask me, he might just have known exactly what he was doing. I'd go so far as saying that he was asking for it, and we are only here because now he regrets it. Case in point, he chose to put his best, most enticing stock in his window display. There is no better way to say, come and get it, you know you want it. That, right there, was provocation. A downright blatant invitation. It was all out there for all to see. If he didn't want to be robbed, he should have had more modesty. So I am sure you will all agree that that proves consent to the robbery. Furthermore, ladies and gentlemen, it just boils down to estrogen. Girls will be girls. Opposing counsel claim this was a disturbing act, but it is a fact that girls are drawn to things that are pretty, such as jewellery, that it has nothing to do with greed and is actually a biological need. Therefore, to take it is their right. So there isn't even a crime here to indict. Finally, dear members of the jury, it would not be in the interest of justice to find my client guilty. It would ruin her career prospects and put an end to her sporting prowess. She is an accomplished athlete, and the sentence would mean she can no longer compete. And hasn't she been punished enough by being dragged through this ludicrous trial during which she has been defiled and which for her has been exceedingly tough? She's been vilified on social media. She can't go out without people shouting at her. The guilty sentence would be too high a price to pay for 20 minutes of action anyway. In summary, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you cannot blame a lady for wanting to take jewellery that was put on blatant display late at night. So you must do what is right. You must reject this so-called victim's fanciful claims that he now finds himself at pains to live a normal life and that everything is all struggle and strife, as my learned colleague so eloquently argued. And you must be more shrewd. He wanted it. He was asking for it. It was not my client's fault for taking it. Therefore, she must be acquitted. I rest my case. Now it is time for me to call my glamorous assistants to the stage. Right. In order of numbers, I think it would be the easiest. We've only got one microphone, so we're going to have to project our voices. This is a found poem. This is only the second time we've done it. Me, and some random people that I pick on. And a found poem where you find the art in something pre-existing, like you find some text and you rearrange it, organise it. Like you can find a found poem with newspaper headlines, for example. Do people know what the iPhone game is? Yeah. The iPhone predicts what next word you're going to pick based on the words that you've picked before. So what you do is you take your iPhone and you start typing something like once upon a time, and then you mash the middle button, predictive, until you've got a sentence, and it sort of reveals a little bit about your texting habits and the inside of your brain. Me and my friends spent a lovely drunken evening playing the iPhone game. I took the best bits, rearranged them, added punctuation, and that is all I've done. So this is a found poem for 4 voices, which makes it sound super fancy when it's just like reorganised craziness. And my glamorous assistants are Rachel, Erin, and Jellicle. And this is the iPhone game found poem for 4 voices. Once upon a time, it is so much fun.
Once upon a time, it is not really fun.
Once upon a time, it is not free to play.
Once upon a time, it would have to get back through it again.
I'm reading your email.
I'm reading your message and I'll see you at the end.
I am reading this morning. I am not going home. I haven't ever had a bad experience with this place since I've seen a couple different ones.
I am in love with this place. I love it here. But it has been great to come back to try the new food.
Pizza makes me feel so bad.
Pizza makes me feel good, and I am not going back.
Pizza makes me feel like I gotta... Is it a Christmas?
Pizza makes me want to get back with you, girl.
I haven't ever been a fan for years, and now I'm just not single.
I haven't ever had any of those who want me.
I want to kiss your face, then you don't think you are you.
I want to kiss your lips, but when you're in pain.
I want to kiss your face, and you have to be nice.
I am married to the new girl in my new life.
I'm married to the same guy who is the one that is in love.
I am married to the 2 people who have lost their lives.
I am marrying an old man with my new friends and my new job.
My job is so much better, and I have to work with my new drug.
My job is so awesome.
My job is so good today, I am going on my Facebook. My friends are going on the way home.
My friends are going for a couple of things.
My friends are not single guys at this game.
When friends leave me alone, I don't want you to go.
When friends leave me... Good!
When friends leave me too late, I don't have to work.
Bitch, you got it. Do not come in today.
Shit gets real. When I want her, I got her.
Shit gets real when I'm in a bad place, but it's a great way of getting to the end.
Shit gets real when I want her. I want you back in my love, and you love me.
My favourite thing is to be able for my new rug to work on the weekend.
My favourite thing is to get the back of the door open and then I can do a walk.
When I stroke a cat, I feel bad about it, and it's so dull.
When I stroke a cat, I feel bad about what you are doing. When I stroke a dog, it was so cute.
When I stroke a dog, I stroke it all over.
When I stroke a dog, and you gotta get a little more freedom.
My mother is just doing the yoga.
My mother is in a good relationship, and she's been great with her family.
My mother is a good friend to my life.
My mother is so cute.
My father is in a hat.
My father is a dog.
My father is in the middle zone.
My father is in bed with my dad.
I'm really disturbed by this Christmas tree in my new life.
I'm really disturbed by this one.
I'm really disturbed by this game so much.
When I take the drugs, I'm gonna... Is it your birthday, my dear?
When I take the drugs, I'll get it tomorrow night.
When I take the drugs, I'm going okay. I wanna... Is it morning?
When I take the drugs, I'm going through a couple things.
I wish I could do that work for you.
I wish I could get a new life.
I wish I could have put my hair on.
My deepest, darkest desire is into my face when my heart hurts.
My deepest, darkest desire is that you cannot always do, believe me.
My deepest, darkest desire is that I can have you.
My deepest, darkest desire that you are a good person, to be happy and to be happy with your thoughts.
Thank you. So I can get them tomorrow and I can do them.
Thank you for the good evening and evening, afternoon, and I see you tomorrow.
Thank you for your time.
What do we reckon? Does that work?
That was really cool. Yeah.
It makes sense. It's kind of crazy all in one. All right, what have we got left? 2 more, and then I'm out of here. So, I want to dedicate this next piece to Harvey Weinstein. And his fucking Zimmer frame. He's got his sentencing on the 11th, which is this coming week. I can't remember what day. Wednesday. I wish him all the worst. Wednesday. He has been trying to avoid jail by being in hospital the whole time. And apparently, from the people who know him, he still doesn't understand that he might have done something wrong. This is all baffling to him. So, this is one of those American medical adverts you might have seen, which I think would be right up his street. Do you struggle to keep your hands to yourself? Do you feel you have rights over people due to your power and wealth? Do you find yourself unwittingly getting into trouble and the cause of the problem leaves you befuddled? You are not alone. And now, thanks to a brand new medical breakthrough, we have the solution for you. Doctor, I can't stop groping women. Oh, Mr. Celebrity, it's not your fault. You're clearly ill, so I shall prescribe you some Gropadin. I think we'll go straight for the higher dose. We can go up to 2 ml at most, but if you take it twice a day, it should help keep those pesky urges at bay. Doctor, the Gropadin wasn't enough. I was with a female associate and, my clothes fell off. There, Mr. Celebrity, ignore that drama queen. It's not you, it's a malfunction in your genes. So I shall modify the medical protocol and prescribe you some Gropadin. It comes in a convenient spray, so you can use it any time of the day. Spray it once on your face and twice on your sack. It'll make everything shrink and contract, so no chance of committing a lewd act. Doctor, I got in the buff and told that actress to touch my shrunken stuff. Oh no. I see you're one of those poor, unfortunate men. I therefore recommend that you always carry around a gropey pen. If you ever feel tempted, even just a little little bit, whip out the pen, engage the tip, and stab it into your bum. And in the time it takes to count from 3 to 1, you'll be rendered catatonic, saving you from any histrionics. And if all of that fails and there's a chance you might end up in jail, we'll just check you into our clinic. You'll see it's great, terrific. Gropadin, Gropadin, and the Gropadin are trademarks of Dirty Old Men Incorporated. Side effects to be noted may include a refusal to take any responsibility or admission of culpability, an increase in self-centeredness and machismo, and an overinflated ego. An inability to see that a sense of entitlement is the only reason for the patient's predicament. Some users have reported impaired judgment, an addiction to out-of-court settlements, and a sense of perpetual denial, which may result in coma, death, or even worse, a public trial. If you experience any of these side effects, cease use and talk to your physician. Of course, just as long as she isn't a woman. Thank you. So yay, go Harvey. Right. Oh, you'll be helping me. To finish off, I thought I should do a song. This is based on personal experience, which some of you may relate to. And to accompany me, I went and found the only instrument I had. What's the problem? Is it's not working very well? Can you hear that okay? Mm-hmm. Thank you. You have 20%. It doesn't go high off enough. But the boyfriend gave me this lovely bell, which sometimes I use a glass, but this is brand new, so I thought I'd try it out. If you've liked what you've heard, oh, people on social media especially, I'm at ChloeJPoetry. The microphone's lost its erection. Too much girl power in here. Woo! I'll be alright, I can lean, fear not. Alrighty. Thank you. This is so professional, I love it. Normally I have to fiddle about with it and it all goes to shit very rapidly. So, with apologies to Simon and Garfunkel. Hello, period, my old friend. You finally showed up again. It's been 6 days.